Would you just take a minute and introduce yourself and let us know why you're running for office?
Certainly. I'm Jim Wierenga, and I live here in the township with my wife and children, 6 kids. And I am running for office because we love this community. It's a great place to raise our kids, and my wife and I have always believed whatever you're involved in or whatever you're experiencing in your life, you need to contribute to it. And so we thought about how to contribute best to the township. I looked at my skill set as an attorney and kind of a problem solver, et cetera. Used to dealing with regulations and laws, and thought it's probably where I best fit, and I think it is.
Great. What do you think is the key issue in the campaign this year?
Well, I can't speak to maybe what others see as that key issue, but I think in terms of the key issue facing the township, we really need to guard against any sort of blight or demise to what I think is a very successful township. And I would point that out. We're blessed not to be primarily focused upon financial shortages and things of that kind. We are in a good position financially. We're well run. Services are well delivered. And so we have the ability to sit and be more strategic and not reactive. And I think as I look strategically, it's pretty evident that there are areas within our business core that just need to be shored up and supported. And we need to be a place that's desirable and continues to be desirable for business.
Great. What expertise do you bring to the table to help deal with issues such as that?
Such as what I just identified? Well, first of all, I shop here, and we make sure we shop locally to support, but that's on a personal level. From the standpoint of a board member or what the board can do to affect that, I really think that we're a catalyst more than anything. Sometimes the public misperceives what we can do, what we can't do, or how much we can do. We can't go out and negotiate with a business to come in here. We can't go out and start a business. We're not a private enterprise. But what we can do is make it a place where those who are already operating businesses and those who want to remain and want to grow their businesses here. And I think we can do that as a catalyst. I can think of a couple of examples from my first term here. We passed during my first term, and I was a part of initiating this, the repeal of the alcohol ban within the township. Now, I personally don't drink, but at the same time, I was hearing report of the fact that the reason we can't attract an Applebee's or a Red Lobster is because we don't have that permission in the way of alcoholic sales. And so we were able to craft an ordinance that would not invite a bar or a tavern because of minimum food sale requirements and the like, but at the same time would attract perhaps one of these upscale chain restaurants in time. And so that's one example of how we can support or address that issue. Another is these gateways to the city. People see a lot of buildings being taken down, and a lot of that has to do with a longer range view in terms of how can we as a township make our entryways more beautiful and more attractive, more inviting. And from there, it's really up to business to do its job and to entrepreneurs to get out there. And I guess lastly, a way that we can support them then beyond that is to get out of the way. That is, not to overly regulate, to make it easy for people to do business and to eliminate red tape where it's brought to our attention.
Great. You kind of answered my next question, which is how would you help the business community either start or continue business in Georgetown Township? You kind of addressed all those things. So anything else that you'd like to tell us and summarize why we should vote for you versus your opponent?
Sure. We have good people that are running, and so really from my standpoint, I feel like I'm a strong and an independent voice on the board, but at the same time not so strong or independent that I don't have the rapport or the ability to work with others. I think I'm a consensus builder. I think I'm a problem solver. That's really the earmark of my practice in law, is not so much to stir up as to solve. And so I think I'm able to get things done. Be independent, be a strong independent thinker and voice, but at the same time have the kind of respect and rapport both with my fellow board members as well as with the public that issues can move forward. And I think I'm a forward-looking thinker. I think one of the issues we've faced here in the township, and it's dependent, I suppose, on what the circumstances were facing prior boards, but sometimes we tend to think about what we want to do this year or next year. But we have to think, I think, more long-term. And we've begun to do that as a board and take steps that I think will become more evident in time that we're looking and planning for the township Township for the next 20 years or 30 years, so that it continues to be a great place to live.
Great. Well, thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate your time.
All right.